We're just going to start with a couple different things going on. First things first, I want you to tuck your toes underneath and then think about spreading your toes. So we're going to stretch out the feet to begin with. You can place as much weight on your feet as you like. So if that's too intense, you can always take it to here so that there's not quite so much of a stretch going on. You can determine how much stretch you want to feel. And we're just going to sit here for a bit. And while we're here, if we can lengthen through the spine and just roll our shoulders up towards our ears, back and down. Just a few rolls one way and the other way. And while we're sat here as well, we're just going to rotate through our neck. So drop your head down as though you want your left ear to touch your left shoulder. Roll down so that your chin's to your chest. And then right ear to right shoulder. And back again. Just a couple of rotations there. And that's probably enough for our feet. So if you come away nice and slowly, untuck the toes. It's normal to feel a little bit of sort of achy there because we were holding that stretch for quite a while and that is an intense one. Now if we just want to take sort of counter pose to that, a bit of an ankle stretch with your top of your feet flat on the floor. If that's enough of a stretch through the front of the foot, you can just leave it here. Or if you'd like to raise up your knees, you're welcome to. Sitting back on the feet to feel a bit more of a stretch. Or if you want to do that one at a time, we can just rock one knee at a time, just to feel a bit of a stretch down the front of the foot. But don't worry if this is enough for you. And just sit here for a couple moments again. And then we're going to shift into our butterfly. So bring those feet together in front of you, allowing the knees to drop out to the side. You can grab onto the feet if you like. It just helps us to sit up on our sit bones a little bit more, because I know I have a tendency to sort of slump in this. We want to try and sit up straight. You can allow those knees to flutter if you like, or we can just hold it there and allow them to drop down. Trying to relax a little bit here for a moment. And then if you want to take your legs out into a wide sort of straddle, again sitting on those sit bones. We don't need to feel sort of a huge stretch here. It's enough to just feel that initial stretch. And while we're sat here up on our sit bones, we're going to get a bit of a side bend in as well. So if you take your left arm over the top of your head, reach towards your left toe. But think about keeping that shoulder up and rolled away. Try not to lean over. We want a nice side stretch here rather than anything through the back. And come back to center. Have a little stretch forwards. Again, not particularly sort of reaching or anything, just allow your body to come forwards. And then back up. And then we're going to take our right hand over, reach towards our right foot, keeping that shoulder rolled back, feeling that stretch down the whole side of the body. Love a good side bend. And bring it back to center. And bring those legs together. We're just going to forward fold here. And again, don't worry if this is enough, just sitting like this, that's absolutely fine. But if you can, just allow your body to come forwards. Again, we're not sort of reaching or pulling. We're just allowing our body to move forwards. Resting the hands wherever you need to. Get a bit of a hamstring stretch. And then we're going to sit it up. And we're going to get a bit of a back bend now, going for puppy pose. So if you start off in tabletop, we want to keep our lower half of our body still from this point. All we do here is we drop our head down towards the floor and we reach our hands out in front of us. So notice we're getting a back bend and our chin is going towards the floor. Take a few breaths here. Try to relax through the back. Nice and slowly walk those hands back up. And then just sink your bum back towards your heels and go for a child's pose. And while you're down here, if you have a prop you can grab, could be a cushion or a book or anything that can be used to raise the floor. We can go for a little elevated child's pose, but what we're going to do is we're going to rest our elbows on that prop and get a bit more of a tricep stretch. So if you reach your elbows down and then walk your hands sort of down towards your shoulders. Feel that stretch through the triceps and through the back. And a few breaths here. And then if we just bring ourselves back up into tabletop, we're just going to have a bit of a wrist stretch, I suppose. So with all the pressing and things that we're doing, it can be quite nice to stretch the wrist the opposite way. So again, you can apply as much or as little pressure on this as you like, as much as you want. Putting your weight into the hand there, so the back of the hand is resting on the floor. And just put as much or as little weight on that as you like. Feel that stretch through the wrist. And again, just holding that for a few breaths. You can sort of rock side to side or front and back if you want to take some weight off and put a bit more on. And if you want a bit more added stretch, we can always try to make a fist in this position while keeping your elbows locked out. So this is something that we have done to train that false grip, back on the rings. Back in the gym soon. Just make sure you keep those elbows straight and locked out. Try and make a fist as hard as you can.